just kind of short it up on it. Instead of 21, we go 18. And that works, it works just as good. And we can actually adjust, we can actually turn one of these buttons to brew that go 3 cups. So if you wanted more, like an extra shot, you could do that. Anyway, but if not, we just make it a double and a single, right? Okay, steaming milk. You put milk in the pitcher. All right? Never more than half full. You always want to be half or less. Because when you steam milk, it'll actually come to the top. It'll double in size. Okay? Now the whole object is to turn the milk into what? Cream. Well, we say foam, but foam sometimes you don't want that airy foam. So we want it to sound more like cream. And I'll show you. Okay? I had the top to this on there. Okay, now, before you steam anything up, remember you guys are going to play with the steam jet, so you're going to know how to use this thing real easy, without even thinking about it. So before you use any steam jet, you always want to purge it first. In case there's any water residue, or if there's a vacuum inside the machine, that happens automatically, and I want to get into, because it's a whole different subject all by itself. You always purge a steam jet, always. So we just like that, that's it. Just for a split second. Then you can pull it out and you can steam whatever you want. We go all the way on. We back it up until we hear that spitting sound that I like to use. We know the word. Okay, if you notice, I'm listening. I'm not looking. And if you see a bar guy in Italy, they rarely look at it because they're more looking at all the coffee in there that's coming out. And I keep backing it up to create that small foaming sound, sudsy, you know? And what I'm doing is that I'm actually whipping the milk up into a cream. And then when the milk gets hot enough, the sound is getting lower. So before it bellows out, I shut it off. And that's the feel that you'll get. See? And if I had a spoon, that would matter. It's real creamy. Do we have a cup somewhere?
Yeah.
That, right there. Perfect. See?
Just get a fork. Rudy.
See? And when that mixes with the coffee, it's like mixing cream with coffee.
Put your finger in there one more time, just real quick. Oh, here's the fork.
Yeah, it's all right. Looks better, doesn't it?
Yes.
See, it's dense. It's dense cream. It's not airy where you don't taste anything. And it will mix, and then they'll put their sugar in it or whatever they put in it. Then they stir it a little bit, so they mix the coffee with the cream, because it's like that all the way down. So it's more cream than it is liquid. But yet it's not airy or fluffy where there's nothing in it. It's all air. Then you don't get any taste. Okay? And that's what you want to create. Now, for me to do it again, okay? Now this milk is too hot right now. So I can't steam this again. Unless I cool it down. Ain't that a trick? I take cold milk, I add it to the hot milk. What did I just do?
Make it cold.
Good. Now remember though, this now is warm milk. So you're going to find out that it's going to be real quick to steam up. So what you want to do is, if you do use a big pitcher like this, is to do a half of it at the head of time. You steam it up, you whip it up like you normally would, right? Then let it sit and you use it, and then you're only use a little bit in there. So the rest of it is going to be nice warm milk. So you're constantly going to add cold milk to it, and then you'll be able to put out the cappuccinos one after another. There won't be any delay because you're only brewing 2 cups at a time. So that's the most you can make at one time. You don't want to pre-make anything. You want to make it always to order. That's the biggest thing about espresso. That's why it's called espresso. Fast. Fast in Italy also refers to fresh. Anything made fast was made fresh. Over here it has to do with fast food, which is completely contradictory to everything else that we know about. But that's where the name espresso comes up. So this is actually referred to as cafe espresso versus American coffee. It would be like espresso coffee. See? Coffee made the espresso way. That's basically what it all refers to. Okay? So now by me adding the cold milk to this, purge all the time, right? I go in, I back it up. Now watch how fast this one's gonna work. This is it's almost hot now. See? You get maybe 10 seconds.
And you're listening for...
I listen to the sound, and it's also a vibration, but let's not get into that. It takes a while to, after a while, believe me, you'll feel it. You don't actually have to hear it anymore. You feel the foaming sound and everything. There's a certain vibration that's happening. And after a while, through a lot of repetitive use, you start to get the feel of it, which makes it even easier, see? Finger tap. I wouldn't do this in front of customers. Right? Okay, now that's steaming milk. Now what happens if they want a mocha? What is a mocha? With chocolate, right? What's a hot chocolate? Okay, now the best hot chocolate is if we take your chocolate syrup, we put it with chocolate syrup? Chocolate?
We have the powder. We have powder.
Nah, we want the liquid. Far better. You got to remember, all these items, it's only going to taste as good as your ingredients. Okay? So the more real the ingredient is, the better the taste is going to be. Because we're only using 1 or 2 or 3 items. In a cappuccino, we're only using 2. Coffee and steamed milk, right? Milk. A cafe mocha, we're adding 1 more ingredient, chocolate. So the more real the flavor is, the better it's going to taste. And believe it or not, the cheaper it is to manufacture, to make. When you use artificial flavors, they're the most expensive thing in the item, in the base of the product. Artificial stuff, flavorings, are very expensive, believe it or not. So and it's much better to have a real product than it is to have a flavoring. So you want to the quality of the flavoring is as important as everything else. So we take this, we put some milk in the pitcher, right? You're going to have a steamed pitcher for hot chocolate. Okay, in this case, we got this stuff. Okay, then, now what are we going to do to the chocolate and the milk? What would taste good? How would we do that? We turn the milk into cream again, right? Imagine chocolate cream, hot chocolate cream. Now, wouldn't that taste good? Well, why not?
Okay, what are you making right now?
Hot chocolate. I back it up, and I do the same exact process that I would do for the cappuccino. No difference. Only I have chocolate in the milk, and I'm steaming them together. And by steaming them together, you're going to get more of the flavor out of the chocolate than if you were to put it separately.
Can you do it with powder?
You can do it with powder, and you should try it. And then you got to remember that you guys, when you're making all these drinks, you need to try them just to know how they taste. And believe me, if they taste bad to you, they're going to taste worse to the customer.